What's up, boys? Today we're going to be doing a bit of a tanky juggernaut build here, and then we're also going to be trying to get extremely high single target damage with the ultimate goal that I let the boss swallow me, and then I just absolutely blast him before he can kill me. So I think the best damage weapon here is going to end up being the arms core coil gun, since every beam from that can individually hit an enemy if you're close enough to them. And then we're also going to want the reload shield weapons, I think, for some extra survivability. So we can get that on both the bulldog and the lead storm. And we're going to want to keep the reload speed on those weapons somewhat low, while increasing their fire rate so that they'll empty the clips fairly quickly and we can keep a decent uptime on the armor buffs that they give. That being said, the coil gun and the bulldog are both medium weapons, and I'm probably going to be getting as much reload speed as possible on the coil gun, so I think we're naturally going to get a decent amount there. I'm not going to completely avoid it at all costs. I'm still going to try and maximize the coil gun's damage mainly, and then just use those as sort of utility weapons. So if we can find some of the red sugar cubes early on for a lot of stacking HP, that would be kind of nice. Gold tips might be good later on if we can find some gold scanners to go with it. The main weapon, the coil gun, won't really work with that, so I think we're just taking the XP scanner here. We will probably look for the mining shots on the coil gun, so any scanners we can get early on can be potential huge value throughout the run. Oh yeah, the minus 50% range does make the coil gun extremely small though, so my effective damage range is going to be tiny doing a juggernaut version of the build though. We also don't have any other beam weapons available on the gunner, I think. Normally you go the heavy gunner, and that gives you a lot of stuff from like the engineer and the driller, so that you can get some synergy there. Reload. That's the main weapon level up that I don't want for that one. We will definitely look for the weapon box at some point, and maybe I'll get something cool off of that though. Reload speeds. And it's going to be very hard for me to even damage the elites at this point, so we are almost certainly going to need to get a lot of damage with detonators and rocks dropped on them. We'll take a damage here. We do eventually want the overclock so we can try and find the reload shield. Ooh, couldn't avoid the magnet rip. Another damage is fine. Let's take a coil gun level maybe? Maybe some early pickup actually. Alright, we've got a lot of detonators here if I can pull the positioning off now. Reload for medium, and like I said, not really going to be able to avoid that since we want to pump the coil gun as much as possible. The minigun, we have that right away. I think ideally I would have it as the fourth weapon, since it's basically just a utility. and even when you focus that weapon heavily, it's not a great damage weapon. So here it's just going to be straight up terrible, as mainly just a reloading armor thing. So we now have one weapon, two pretty weak utilities. Fire rates? It's okay. Probably just take the HP since we want to get pretty tanky eventually. Probably go for the early XP, especially with the XP scanner to go with that. Don't think I really have time to get a lot of XP here. We do want fire rate, and that is a higher rarity, so that'll help us dump the clip for that a bit faster and hopefully get the armor going for it. Reload, reload. Nope. I guess we're just taking projectile damage. Damage, that's fine. Ooh, big weapon range and damage, wow. Let's go ahead and take this to help out with the Juggernaut passive. I guess we will take that for the Coil Gun. Do I want to lock that? Probably. I do want to get extremely high damage on the Coil Gun, and that will help with that. Reload into an Overclock. So I can get a decent bit more damage by not taking that, but if I ever get a gold scanner or a nitra scanner, I think that's going to end up being way more damage in the long run, so we're going for the greed. Simply getting a lot more upgrades from the shop will probably be quite a bit better than one single overclock on it. Nope. So I guess we take the projectile damage and then hope for a decent projectile weapon as the fourth weapon that can kind of help carry as well. It is kind of awkward having all those projectile upgrades when my main weapon is supposed to be the Coil Gun. Maybe the burst fire as a main weapon would have been better, actually. If you stand in the middle of a boss, then every shot from that can hit them at the same time. That probably would have hit the build better, I think. Kinetic. Squinties, it kind of depends on how much crit chance and damage you're getting, since those are additive and then the penalty's multiplicative. It could maybe work, but I could also find some scanners which would be extremely good here. Not an XP scanner, but I guess we'll take it. Let's see, the burst fire does have the sidearm overclock, which would increase the damage of everything else. big pickup radius. Yep.
Objective completed. Excellent job. Dial it in.
Another magnet that I couldn't avoid. Rip. Damage, sure. Reload is fine on the burst fire. I guess we'll take that to try and get some levels. That's a lot of loot bugs. I guess. It's still going to be very hard for us to damage a shellback at this point. And there's two of them to make it even worse. So let's try and set this up, get them to stop fairly close to it, and then drop them right on top. And I guess we'll try to get them one at a time whenever we can. Burst Fire, Lead Storm. I should probably get some levels on the better damage weapon here, since there's a very real possibility we die against two shellbacks right now. Could use some more mining and XP. I think I'll go here for a bit. Fire rate or crit damage. Still need a lot of overclocks. Try and get some decent damage while we can really hit him here. Reload, nope. And we need to start setting up some more rocks to help out with these guys. Decent damage. Reload on the coil gun. Try and get some good damage on him. I don't normally go for paint jobs on a main weapon, but it's still only level 7 when I'm 39. We really could use some more levels on that, actually. A lot of projectile upgrades, I guess we take it. Try and get the detonators here for a bit of extra AoE farming. Then need some more damage on the coil gun still. grab our coil gun, some luck. I think we will take that and see the second overclock. Go ahead and grab the +1 beams for that. Some medium reload. Let's go probably the medium reload to mine a bit faster with that. That's a cheap level if I want to hold on to that, just to try and get that up to 18 quickly.
Your mission is clear. Get to it. After this, I'm taking the longest shower. Thick to the core of glittered stick.
Yeah, I think we should have either focused the burst fire or the lead bursters so that we would have had decent projectile synergy for the builds. The coil gun just seems a bit too weird as a main weapon when you're already going that many projectile weapons just as utility. Fire rates, we can get an overclock on either of these. Let's go ahead and see what the burst fire has for us. Sidearm, go ahead and lock that in. Another coil gun. Nitro powder? That's pretty solid from a loot order. Definitely take that. Even though passing up the luck does suck. Nitro scanner is perfect here. That'll help us get a lot more weapon levels, which is pretty important when we have two purely utility weapons that we need a lot of levels on just to get their proper overclocks. We can get an overclock here with a bit of damage. No reload shield. So what do we want here? That would reduce the fire rate, which might be kind of detrimental to what I'm trying to do, so I guess we'll take bigger mags. massive reloads.
Get it done, miner. The bugs are furious.
Actually is very easy to keep them out of range with the range penalty on the juggernauts. We want to keep them alive for a long time.
I'm a better horseman next to you. Alert! Threat level increasing.
Got a nice boost to our nitro now with the first scanner, so weapon level should be a lot easier to do now, hopefully. Reload, yup.
Get there now. It will leave without you.
Let's go for some crit damage here. Decent fire rates, but we do want to get pretty tanky, and I do have the important overclock for that already.
Stage 3 completed. Remember to mine for minerals as you progress deeper.
I'll grab our coil gun, some crit chance.
Feel stronger. Nope. Try again.
Fire rates is helpful to dump the clips on those. We'll grab a bit more mining. Then I think I'll take the fairly cheap levels on those.
Nothing for me here. Let's try again.
Fire rates.
Yeah.
And I guess we may as well to eventually get the overclocks for that. Probably a bit more XP to go with the scanners.
Get to work. There's aliens to be killed and gold to be mined. I'm ready for a fear when this is over. You don't see these every day. Sorry. Your own fault for being full of good. The scout just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swoon incoming. Feeling much better
Let's go fire rates here. We do eventually want the overclocks in case we get the turbo encabulator. That'll really push the coil gun damage to the max since it scales very well with both damage and reload speed.
completed. Big swoon detected. Lock up and get ready.
Coil gun, we can get the level 18 massive increase to the beams and mine even faster. clipboard is actually kind of interesting for a tanky build. Divers is very good damage-wise. I should probably take that. 4 different stats that are very good damage. Yeah, I think that's probably too good to pass up. It'll help us mine a little bit. Reload, pass on that, take the coil gun. Still need some bulldog levels, and mining speed is a bit less relevant now that we have the coil gun fully online. It is still very short range though. It does make it a little bit easier to aim it in some situations, since it will always target the highest HP enemy that's in its range as a precise weapon. Let's go burst fire here, try and get the overclocks on that still. Pass on the reloads.
The bugs are getting worse. Move it. Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you.
I will need to take a decent number of hits here, so let's go that just in case, especially since we want to be fairly tanky. Reload, nah, still not taking it.
Stage 4 is done. Onwards to stage 5 we go.
Weapon range, damage, fire rates is pretty good. Piercing, I do need some levels, but we also have a few rerolls to do here. Coil gun, fire rate into an overclock. Take the massive stat increase for it. I think we have a decent amount of kinetic damage, so fire would be kind of bad. Paint job's helpful for overclocks though. No reload shield, so we're not going to lower the fire rate. I guess it's another bigger mags for that. Armor, some pickup.
Let's shake it up.
Paint jobs are pretty helpful, so I think I will lock that and then take some global damage.
Now we're talking. Here we go. You found the dreadnought. Now you just need to make it come out of hibernation by destroying the cocoons. Show them what a single dwarf can do.
Another coil gun. Fire rates is fine for that.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in record time.
Decent fire rate for the burst fire. Another magnet that I don't think I was able to avoid. I didn't even see where that one was. Ooh. Pretzel can give a lot of armor as we get low on HP. Ammo rig would have been extremely good if we went full projectile based with either the lead burster or something else there. But I don't think it's worth it with the coil gun. We'll go the pretzel. I can probably only take a couple hits at this point, depending on how much armor I have from the pretzel. 138 from one charge. Definitely need some more survivability at some point. Guess we'll take some small hits for now here. Get some juggernaut stacking and a bit of armor from the pretzel. Actually, can't really hit the ranged guy as a juggernaut. More HP, definitely need a lot of that still, it seems like. Yeah, if we can get all the shots at the same time to overlap on them, the damage is very high. But we're definitely not even close to being able to face tank them long enough for that to kill them yet. I think gold scanners would have been very helpful. We do still need the overclock on that pretty badly.
Objective completed. Threat note eliminated.
Gold scanners would have given a lot more survivability upgrades and probably higher damage stuff as well, since it would have worked on all the weapons at the same time. So we've got almost as much nitra as gold. Grab our paint job, some crit damage. It's not super useful. There's quite a bit of nitra though. Aw man, no reload shield, rip. Fire would lower the damage, so we may as well take the one that actually increases damage. Coil gun, paint job to look for the reload shield over there. Damage stats. Piercing, probably not. I'll grab a little bit more mining speed and then some crit damage. It's not super useful. Probably wait for more efficient levels, since we have sidearm reducing the damage on that one anyways. Reloads. I mean, we can't get the reload shield on it now, so it's not actually detrimental. I guess we can grab that. Dodge could help a little bit, but coupons are just really good when we're getting so many upgrades from the nitro, I suppose. Reload, still don't want it there. I guess we'll take some damage on the bulldog then. Luck or damage here. Still a few shots left to try and find some plus beams with luck. massive coil gun. I guess we'll take a paint job. Not sure that really does a whole lot for me now though. Definitely some HP. Might need to use some decent rerolls. I will take a paint job here. Fire rate is perfect. Reload shield, nice. Was trying to get that on both of the weapons, but we unfortunately missed it on the bulldog. But still one of those, and then we can go fire rate to finish that off. And I think building purely around this would have been really strong with either of these. If you stand in the middle of the boss, they both do a ton of damage with all the shots hitting at the same time. HP, coil gun, fire rates, I don't know. I guess we will. May as well take the 2 parallel bullets. They're probably pretty similar damage-wise. Coil gun and a bit of luck. Do I want to save that for the coil gun? Sure. Do I want either of those? I don't think so. Another kinetic. Fire rate is actually decent on that one since we want to keep it empty for the extra armor. Reload, nope. We can take that to eventually get the overclock for it. Man, it is still taking me forever to empty that one. Okay, with the reload shield up, we have 138 armor. Guy's kind of camping the supply drop right now. It's kind of counterproductive even though it is pretty good damage. I'm gonna see what else we have. Another nitrous scanner. I don't think I'm gonna get a ton of value out of that. How's the crit stats looking? That's probably not gonna be worth it, especially if we get any more. That is pretty rough. 5% HP? Actually, maybe tripod if we're standing still. That's actually okay. Fire rate doesn't work on the coil gun, but I think it's still the best damage option here for the boss, since we whiffed a lot of rerolls there. Probably just the damage at this point. There's 8, 9, and 10 left for mining. It's a decent amount of time. Maybe that'll be worth it still. Grab our reload, coil gun, some HP. Kinda need to reroll with the gold to actually find some useful stuff. We're mainly looking for fire rate on that. Damage is not great. Coil gun damage is good though. Weapon range. I guess we'll take a cheap level. Piercing, I guess.
Nothing for me here. Let's try
Not
again.
a whole lot here.
There's beasties to shoot and work to be done. Get to it, miner. Really not ready for this.
Fire rate is fine. Actually, the best stat that I want for it. Either that or paint jobs.
Get ready. Objective completed.
We have 3 artifacts left, I think, so getting this might actually be useful still. It's either that or probably fire rate to dump the clips faster, but we only have one of the reload shields.
I rarely pick one of these.
Out of these, crit chance. Probably a bit late for clipboard. We have 1 reroll. I guess I probably will take it then. And then save the 1 reroll in case it's literally all complete trash. I guess. How much XP do I get if he showers me? Probably not that much for 38 damage a tick. It's not great, but we're pretty low on gold, so I guess a little bit more reloads. crit chance. We need a decent amount of gold just to reroll into useful stuff. Coil gun, some decent crit damage.
Show me more.
More coil gun. We can probably do more useful stuff than that. Armor.
This works. What else we got?
Coil gun.
Show me.
Nah.
Next.
Another reloads. We still have a few stages left, so I don't really have to take a level on that yet.
You've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
And it's just not giving me any more fire rate on it for some reason.
You don't see these every day.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. They got a swarming coming.
Fire rates, but we'd have to give up a blue damage. We're gonna find fire rate in the shop at some point, surely.
Heads up.
Pickled nitra would probably kill me. Seems probably too risky here. Gold tip to some okay damage.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. They got a swarming coming. Prepare to fight for your life. Big swarm is approaching.
Kind of late for luck. That's a pretty nice damage. Paint job, it's kind of wasted. I mean, there's gotta be a fire rate in the shop for it, right? We do have nitra powder though, so the more nitra the better, so I guess I will grab that, finish it off. Here for the lead wrapped ammo. It does unfortunately lower the fire rate, but I guess it also lowers the reload speed at the same time, so the uptime should stay the same, I guess?
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not going to hang around.
Coil gun, yep.
Think you can kill me?
Never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it
So we probably just want to hold a lot of nitro here for the crit chance now.
This one suits me back. Show me more.
Weapon range, definitely want to increase my boss damage. Reload speeds, I would lose 7 crit for that. That's probably worth it still.
Pick one of these. Nothing for me here.
Armor is very helpful. Good kinetic damage.
Like this. What else?
Another reload, and then we have one more reroll.
Surely next time will be
Weapon
better.
range, nope.
Here we go. You found the dreadnought. Now you just need to make it come out of hibernation by destroying the cocoons. Show them what a single bullet will do.
Another coil gun. Bit of reloads. None of these really do anything. We have one reroll. I don't even have any status effects. Rip. Bit of armor? That's actually not bad. Depending on how often we dodge with that. Yeah, that could help a little bit. I guess a bit of damage. We do have the gold tip, so I don't really want to be re-rolling a bunch. Try and get a little bit more crit chance before the boss comes out. Then we need to stand still to get the reload speed ramped up. I guess I can stack it and just stutter step a little bit to try and position the mining, as long as we don't drop the stacks in between. Alright, here we go! Eat me! Eat me! Probably the reload here. The double boss is cheating! They're just constantly going immune. Ow. We definitely could have done it if it was just the single dreadnought, but those guys are cheating. We're at 119 armor here. I can dump the lead storm. It just takes so long, even with all that fire rate. Wow. Maybe the bigger mags wasn't really worth it, because that just takes so long. 300 clip size. I'm just sitting here firing the entire time and it takes so long, my god. I literally can't empty it. Jesus. Yeah, bigger mags was probably not worth it then, huh? This build needs to go a bit back to the drawing board, I think. Probably have a projectile-focused weapon, and then we'll be able to focus a bit more on fire rates and dump those a bit faster. We also missed the reload shield here, which was a bit unfortunate. Maybe the burst fire is a main weapon, or maybe the lead burster would have been good. Those both could have used projectile fire rate, and then we could have gone through those a lot faster. That is taking forever to start reloading, my god. 40% projectile. Didn't I get a lot more than that? I swear I got at least a few upgrades for that. Maybe they were mostly just the weapon upgrades. And also, if we had a projectile main weapon, we could have taken the ammo rig at some point, which would have been very good as well. %238% critical chance. The squinties definitely would have been bad at this point with that much crit chance and being additive with it. 278 million with 178 million total damage. Got a bit of survivability with the reflex and the pretzel, but we are missing the ration pack, which is pretty good for a tank build. We did have a powder plus the nitro scanner for some pretty good damage scaling. Unfortunately, 2 XP scanners, which aren't the greatest still. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.